Hi, I'm Britt Wilson, a ceramic artist and illustrator living in Toronto. I just finished a sketchbook and I want to show it to you. And I'm using the front camera for this, and I filmed the whole thing on my iPhone, so I'm sorry about sound quality and video quality, and quality in general is probably not the best. But I am a strong believer in using what you have and just making it work. So we're making it work today. I tried filming this segment with the back camera and a tripod, and I got really in my head, and I took like 20 tries, and I hated all of it, and I hate watching my mouth move when I speak. I don't know how people do this. So I think we're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna get into it. Okay, let's get down to business. This is my last sketchbook. It was from 2021 to 2024. I'm going to take this off and paint this on. I like to number my sketchbooks. This number means nothing. It's just, I just started numbering them at some random time in my life. So it's definitely not the 14th sketchbook I've ever had. And I like to name them with something, usually something that is written in there somewhere. The stickers on the front are by an artist whose name I can't remember right now. And I've got a bunch on the back. I don't actually like the aesthetic of throwing a ton of stickers on things, so I regret doing this. I don't remember where all of these came from, though. Okay. Yeah, let's open it up. I never do anything in the front. It's just like contact information, because I have lost sketchbooks before. So put your contact information in the front. This was some studies for some ceramic ideas that I was throwing around using some phrases written by a friend of mine, Jordan Shively, but I still like the skulls. I was working on some poison jars here. These ended up going on some dishes, just some little dandelions. This is all drawn in green Col-Erase, by the way, which is not my favorite to draw in, but I do like it. These are all just random ceramic ideas. I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I have more ideas than I have time to do. But I will revisit a lot of these, and some of them I already have. So I like having them in a sketchbook so I can go back and be like, that was a good idea. I'm going to do that now. I was so burnt out before I started taking a ceramics class, and every idea was like getting blood from a stone, and I cried a lot. And then I took a ceramics class as like a present to myself after I finished a graphic novel, and the ideas just started flowing like crazy. And it turns out I just needed a change of, I don't know if it was just the change of media or the change of stress levels too, but here's some more random ideas. I did actually revisit this idea. We'll see it later. It comes up. Again, this was supposed to be a graphic for something, but I ended up going in a very different direction with it. Yeah, more random ideas. This was Rudy. This is my friend's dog, Rudy. I did a ornament / wall hanging of him. It's cute. This ended up being a heart-shaped dish, and I was just sort of testing out colors and thoughts. In markers, there's all that water damage. These sketches were from a stationery collection that I made with the washi station. I always have lots of random notes in my sketchbooks. This is like the sketch, and this is the washi tape. I stuck that in later, but these were some of the really early sketches. We decided that hair got too creepy. Here's my weird little hair balls. Like, what was I trying to go for there? I don't know. These are like belladonna berries. I did end up making some frog's breath jars outside of this particular thing. And the millennial in me is always screaming to do something with owls, and I still never have. But maybe we'll get there one day. These delightful drawings were brought to you by my niece Willow when she was 1.5 years old. Good job, Willow. More washi tape stuff. This was what the final tape ended up looking like. I wish that I'd gone more dynamic, and maybe I'll make that tape later. Tiny little pine cones. Oh, this is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever made. It ended up going on like a heart-shaped dish. And it's gone now. I'm so upset. I was so worried that the water damage had hit this picture at the time, because none of this is, like you can see, none of it is water safe. That's not a word. Whatever. More sketches. These are back. I've been obsessed with radishes for a while. This was back in 2021 when I was drawing these. I got these are like fountain pen inks. I got like little samples from my local stationery store, and Wonder Pens. If you're in Toronto and you want a cool stationery store to go to, they often have tiny ink bottle samples, and they're cheaper than buying a whole bottle when all you want to do is fuck around in your sketchbook with them. So I really need to do something with radishes, though. I've been wanting to for a while, for a long time, and I unfortunately came across some other people doing it on the internet, and then I thought that I couldn't, that meant that I couldn't do it, which is not necessarily the case. This is some more of that tape from the Washi Station collaboration. I was obsessed with this Lord Huron song at the time, I guess. I think this is the first crying skull that I drew. It comes up a lot later, but always obsessed with ribbons. I really want to do something with sticks. I haven't quite figured out how to make them more universally appealing to people who don't aesthetically vibe with sticks. I don't know. More crying skulls. This is sort of where the crying skull thing started. If you follow me on social media, you'll know that I maybe draw a lot of crying skulls. And it never does good numbers. And like my crying skull sticker is still like the poorest selling sticker I've ever made. I don't care. I love it so much. They make me laugh and cry a little. This was planning for like IG promos. I like to do that a lot in my sketchbooks. So there's a lot of those. We come across them quite a few times. And like random notes. That was a very nice visit with Jade that day. This is some washi tape that I really liked, and could I remember who it's made by? No. Aviva from the washi station will know. If you want it, you can send her this video and she'll tell you. There's some more ideas here for altars, things that I have made and things that I haven't made yet. More tape stuff. I got really obsessed with like matches, burnt matches for a while. I still am, actually. I don't know why. I still am. And more sticks, like a bouquet of sticks. Is that something that people would like? I did end up making this vase, but here I've drawn it with that pointy wire stuff, barbed wire, that's the word, with barbed wire. But I ended up actually using thorny flowers and vines instead. Like bursting in and out of the skull's eyeballs and mouths and stuff. Eyeballs? They're eye sockets is the word I wanted. There's kind of a little drawing of it over here. It was more like that, but it covered the whole vase. For a while, I tried to plan out drops. Like I was like, I'll draw all the shapes that I want to make. I never follow these plans, so I stopped doing it because it's stupid. More ideas for things. I made this. Maybe I made that. I really want to make a skull ocarina. I haven't quite figured it out. But ocarinas are really fun to make. Cat food bowls that I need to make for my cats. I have all these trophies because I ended up making this one. I made them for my brother's family for Christmas one year. You can draw on ceramic with dry erase markers, and you can wipe it off again. And so I made them these blank trophies with the idea that they could celebrate all their small wins by like writing it on the trophy where everybody could see and be like, you know, I did a really good job emptying the dishwasher this week or whatever. And you write it on and you can celebrate those small wins. I need them. I need those small wins, especially right now. Maybe I'll make some more. I keep thinking I'll make some more and then I don't. Maybe I will. More random ideas. Goth strawberries. Strawberries for goths started here. I forgot I drew this and now I really want to make this. I don't know why I didn't. This page I started and then came back to many, many times. Anytime that I just wanted to draw but I didn't have any ideas or was just having a bad drawing day, I'd come and add a skull to the page. I was testing out some new watercolors that I had just gotten, or maybe I hadn't just gotten them. Either way, I just put them into a watercolor palette, like a travel one. And so I was testing all the colors out to, I guess, maybe see which ones I wanted to put in the palette. I don't know. In the words of Sophie McPike, I pre-blobinated this page, and then I just drew the skulls over top because it seemed sad and lonely with just the color. But I don't do that very often, so it was kind of nice. More notes forever. Poison jars. This one got made. I really want to do something with these birds. I did use this guy on this tape. And I did make this one. And I think I wanted to make a whole, like, team. My daughter drew this one and this one for me. But I wanted to make a whole little team of, like, tulips. And I never did. And this one is still just bisqued, and I never painted it. I think I got really hung up on the colors, and I just haven't been able to see my way past it. But maybe I'll sit down with it. Also, this is one of my favorite pens to draw with because it's so similar in color to the Colorase pencil that is also my favorite to draw with. You can sort of see a ghosting of it right here. And I lost it. I don't know where it is. And it's heartbreaking. Here I am planning another Instagram promo for an art sale that I was in, a Christmas art sale. More random ideas for things. Apparently I was writing out my voiceover for something. All sorts of fun stuff. See, here it is again. So I thought it was this one. This is the brand. It's a Paper Mate pen marker, but this is the wrong color. This is this color. And it's more pink. So it's the only one I have now. But, like, that's just mean. Made me think that's the same color. So I must have lost one, a more orangey one. Anyway, I love drawing with it. And I'm going to have to see if I can find it again. Here's a little bat. I love drawing little bat. I haven't made a lot of little bat stuff this year. I need to make some more little bat stuff. I did end up making this poison jar bottle flask. It's flat. And I really loved it. And I just sort of let my lettering speak for itself, which I don't often do. And I did go yummy, yummy, yummy on the front and then poison, poison, poison on the back. So this didn't happen. It was this one. But I was really happy with it. And here we are with some Please Don't Speak to Me Before I've Had My Teeth. That did end up going on a mug, but I didn't draw it here. I really liked how it came out, though. I was going through a teeth thing. It's because I wanted to make these tooth jars. I made one for myself to hold my kids' teeth in, and then I thought I'd just make a whole bunch of them. I got new markers for my mom for Christmas that year. Which ones? These ones. There's a whole set of these Fudenosuke Tombos. They're just like brush pens. They're relatively stiff though, so you can get some pretty fine lines with them, and I like that. Just weird dudes. This is bad. My sketchbooks are of the messy variety, and I do not care. I'm never gonna have one of those like art books masquerading as a sketchbook. This is my mess. This is my brain mess that you're seeing, and that's just kind of the way it's gonna be forever. This is where I started making these little guys. I've made a couple of these. I made her out of the wrong kind of clay, and she came out horribly, and I hate it. My daughter loves it, though, so it's on her bedroom bookshelf. But, yep. Then I was playing with my watercolors and realized I didn't have any red. So I wrote, I don't have red. I was really mad about it. And then I just kept drawing these dudes. And look, we come back to the radish. So this was pulled out of my Hobonichi, I think. I did these sketches and I liked them enough that I didn't want to lose them when the year switched over. So I stuck them in here. I really got to do something with this. The problem is that I had this idea and then I didn't do it. And then I saw someone else doing something very similar. And I felt like I then couldn't do it anymore. Like I'd missed the boat. But I don't think that it really works that way because I'm different and I'll make them different. I don't know. It just goes to show that you shouldn't leave your ideas to rot for too long. I kicked B's ass at Connect 4. Sorry, kiddo. She now beats me 9 times out of 10. So, you know, I taught her well. Then we were drawing cats together from, I think we pulled them up on Pinterest. But she got mad because I was drawing better than she was. There's a very fine balance. I don't talk about it a lot on the internet, but there's a very fine balance that you have to sort of straddle as a parent who does art for a living and has a kid who is very art inclined and creative as well. I want to do more artistic things with her, but it's hard because she gets so discouraged by me being good at things. And it's hard to get her to understand that it's so many years of practice. And it's just a thing. It's just a thing that we have to do. So cats and drawing with B. And more radishes. See, like, look at how cute that would be with radishes. These weren't red enough because I didn't have red at the time. And then B drew some radishes down here for me and like a pepper, maybe, and a weird skull. Then I got red. B and I went out to, I think I ended up getting it at Gwartzman's, actually, which is a art supply store here in Toronto. That's some schmutz. Pretend that's not there. And I got some really nice new pens that this paper did not like. I don't know if you can see that really well, but probably not. It's fuzzy. It like bleeds through the paper. So yeah, I got some cadmium and quinachrome, whatever, doesn't matter. More random mug sketchy ideas. So for this, my kid was signed up for martial arts for a little while, and it was just down the street from the library. So I spent about an hour a week for a little while at the library, just drawing and sketching and trying to not be on my phone. And I pulled up a book by Julia Sarda. Was it by her or was it by somebody else and illustrated by her? I don't remember. It was called something about Duckworth. Duckworth was in the title. A kid and a snake, I feel like. Anyway, I got really inspired by how she drew the drapery of, it was like a picture of the kid's bed and the sheets were pulled back and the blankets were like flopping down the side of the bed. And just like the drapery of the fabric was, I don't know, it was fascinating. And I haven't quite figured out how I want to use it, but I was like, immediately, I want to put this in pottery somehow. Like the graphic, I want to take the way that she did that and make it my own and do something with it. And I haven't quite got there. I got close here, I think, but I'm not there yet. Just some more doodles of paint. I was thinking about planters. I was thinking about bugs. More planters and bugs. This little ladybug lady. I did end up doing something with a ladybug. She's holding a flower, maybe. Oh, look at this. Bone planter spikes. I didn't realize I came up with them so long ago. I made those this year. So this is from quite a while ago that I did these drawings. And I made these this year around Christmas. And they sold out. And I definitely have to make some more. I sold out. And then I saved some for my sister-in-law. So she got some of them. But the idea is that they go in your planters, like your indoor planters. one, to make them look cool and badass because bones sticking out of the ground do that. But two, you can use them to aerate the soil as well and then just stick them back in, because I know that I'll see my plant with compacted soil and I'll be like, I should do something about that, but there's nothing nearby to poke it with, so I just don't. And I thought, well, how about if you just put them in the dirt and then you could just pick them out. And then when you inevitably kill your plant, you know, it looks thematically appropriate and it's fine. And then maybe you feel a little less sad. Yeah, I guess I did come up with it right here. It just like sticks right out. So if any of you have those and you have photos of them in your plants, I never actually got as far as putting them in a plant and photographing it. I'll definitely have to make some more. More bugs, ladybugs. I don't know what I was doing there. Plans and thoughts, seeds. I like this. Also love the idea of glasses for spiders. This one was at a park. I was drawing while the kiddo was playing, and then she got bored with playing, so she came over to draw with me. We're at the stage now where if there isn't anybody that she knows at the park, she doesn't want to go there. She doesn't want to play anymore. It's more about the people now than it is about the playground. We used to just be able to go to the playground and I would get hours of hanging out and she would just play and play and play, and we're past that now. I'm really obsessed with tulips. They're such a simple form and shape. This is just coal erase with like a ballpoint pen over top. But I think because they're like one of the first flowers that we get in the spring, especially the cut flowers that you can buy at like corner stores, they just herald spring to me. And after a long winter, this winter was particularly dreadful. They're just this like, finally spring is coming. And so a lot of my mental health rides on the tulips in the spring. Oh, there's another one. See, like, this is such a cool idea. I wish that it hadn't gotten ruined by a water bottle. These were all thoughts for teacups. I really want to make small little teacups, dainty little teacups. And this is one of those things where like what I want to make and what people buy don't line up. In North America, for some reason, we're obsessed with these massive mugs. Like it's all about getting as much fluid in it at once, which doesn't make any sense to me because I can't drink it all while it's still warm anyway. So I want to make tiny little weird, delicate, creepy, fun teacups. But they don't sell. They're really hard to move. The smaller I make my cups, the harder they are to move. But maybe one day I'll just make them anyway, just for fun of it. I love this guy. This was an idea that never went anywhere. Same with this bird. Look, the worm is so upset. More thoughts. I really wanted to make some like belladonna earrings, maybe. Maybe I still will. This was for the thank you cards that I put in my orders. I used to include like a 4x5 thank you card. Now it's just sort of a little note from me because I tried to do this and I hated it so much that I haven't been able to return to the idea of making a new thank you card. I'll get back to it one day. Bea also was drawing here. Look, she even was like, Mom, what are you worried about? I've figured it out for you. Well, this is show planning, display planning. Maybe not the prettiest of things to look at, but I kind of love it. When I look at a sketchbook page like this, I find this fascinating. I want to see everybody else's sketchbook pages that look like this square ass mugs, and they're scribbly bits. And I was trying to figure out some display things that I wanted my husband to make for me, and he ended up making me a display for my bells that I really love, and a couple other things. Look at my stupid face. And my cleavage. Only one boob, though, is popped up. Anyway, this was like, this is how I wanted my table to look. And I needed to put myself in there so I could understand the scale. I'm not quite at this point. I think I went in a slightly different direction in the end. But I do still need to make a nicer sign. And I have some ideas, but now I have a thing that goes up and over, which I like. And I hang some of the bells from it usually so that I can get this thing off the table because it takes up too much space. But yeah, there's thoughts and plans. More thoughts and plans, random ideas. These fucking caterpillars. I shouldn't swear. I'm sorry. These effing caterpillars were just like a random doodle one day. And the little poops, they made me laugh so much that I ended up coming back to it and making a whole vase with these. This is a moth and this is a butterfly. There's a difference. The difference is a proboscis, whatever. And they have cute little hair on the top, whereas the moth doesn't really. It's got fluffy antenna instead, like a big fluffy scarf. Actually, they both kind of have that, but the moth is chonkier, and the butterfly gets a little bit of shape. I don't know. Here's me drawing with Beatrice again. She was doodling. I was doodling. I think we were at the park, and no one was around. I drew her face a little bit. She's hard to draw because she won't sit still. More planning. I did make all of these bells. This one I still have. Nobody likes it. I think it's going to be mine forever. That's okay too. More drawing. See, this is done with this one, right? Like, that's that color. I want the one that's closer to that. Anyway, driving me nuts. These are plans for tiny dishes. I did end up making a similar one to this. It's like a rainbow. I made this one. I was trying to figure out the wings. I wanted to make it a little less complex. Like, these were just too complex. And I knew that the dishes come out like this big. That if I did something this complex, I'd have to charge so much for it. And it's hard to ask someone to spend like over $100 on a tiny dish. It's a hard sell, which I understand. All right, I was interrupted by my alarm. Sorry about that. More random ideas. Skull wall hangings. I did end up making this one. I still want to do something with a spider, but I haven't quite figured out the logistics of it yet. And this is just too chonky. I don't know. It's still percolating. More market promos. This is the butterfly that I ended up going with. And there was me testing this is actually underglaze. It's powdery. Trying to get the colors right. They don't quite come out how they dry. They come out punchier and brighter, especially the reds. Reds always come out looking gray, and then they fire and they're like bright fire engine-y colors. More little guys. This was an interesting idea that it looked great on paper. It was like a bell with a bunch of these like little heart pendant things that I had made. But in the reality and trying to make it, I was like, this looks stupid as hell, and I'm not doing this. Some of this is just doodling. Some of this became sticker planning later. I did end up making these ghosts in jars. I tried doing it with 3, and I didn't like it. So I ended up just putting one big one in the bigger jars, and then I kept all the little guys in the smaller jars. I bought 2 different styles of jar to do this. I made this. I love making these kinds of bells. It's really fun. I need to make more of these. Maybe for winter. And ribbons, always ribbons, and always dandelions. I love, like, dandelions come with these like really long, thin, flexible stalks. And there's some around here, like if you go to the park, like you'll get a dandelion that's like very long, longer than my recording space is. And I love the idea of them sort of getting twisty and overlapping things, undulating in the same way that I do the ribbons, to be completely honest. Oh, look, there's there's more of it. See, like, it's so sinuous. I love it. This ended up being a sticker, and it sold pretty well. I'm trying to decide if I want to reprint it exactly as it is, or if I should just make a different one and move on. Normally, I don't reprint anything. This happened. Oh, all these happened. I made these. This guy ended up on a mug later. This is my vermilion Col-Erase pencil. My dearest thing. I love it so much. and I only have a couple left. And then it's the Tuscan red over top, which I also love, but I prefer to draw first with vermilion and go Tuscan red afterwards rather than drawing straight with Tuscan red. But either way, I can't get either of them outside of a set anymore, which is, I'll complain about it till the day that I die. Business card planning, I did end up making it look pretty much exactly like this. Plaques, more dandelions. Beatrice was helping me out and drawing spiders like I draw spiders. That was me. This is her. This is more thoughts. I thought maybe all the ghosts are on different chains. They got 3 different chains and then they cluster together and clicky clacky on each other. But I couldn't keep their faces facing where I wanted them to be, and they kept rolling inwards. So I nixed that idea too. This lettering was too complex and it gave me heartburn. I was trying to come up with some mug designs that were a little simpler so that I'm always trying to find a range of prices for when I go to markets, because it's hard to ask people to drop $400 on a mug at a market, especially. So I was trying to find some designs that I could do that were a little more just chill. I haven't quite found them yet. These were designs for the backing cards of the couple enamel pins that I have, and I did end up doing most of these. I did this, I did this, I did something like this. I did not do this. More drawings from Bumblebee. Using up my Colorase pencil, man. More from her. This is from my niece, Aura. She signed it. And then there's me. I ended up making this into a plaque as well, or a wall hanging. It's still hanging on the wall in my studio, actually. I need to find a better way to photograph it. It's very long and ended up a very long piece. It has multiple pieces to it. And I think I just don't have a really good photo of it on this site. Maybe I'll rephotograph it. Maybe I'll sell it. Maybe I'll keep it. Some strawberry doodles, notes again. This ended up being a wall hanging too. It's sold already. I did this and it was a 2-parter. This ended up getting made in a different shape, but I really like this drawing. This too. That was just the goth strawberries from earlier. I didn't make him on his own. I really love the way his face is pudging around the bow. I need to do that. Maybe draw that again. I haven't drawn cats much in a while. Who's this? I don't remember drawing that. Just some wall plaque ideas. I think I came up with these when I was coming up with ideas for a workshop that I taught. It was just about underglazing, so we just kept it really simple, gave everybody a pre-bisqued plaque that they could paint on. I made this as an ornament, and I only made one, and it sold right away, and I feel like maybe I should make more. Always strawberries. Another secret sale poster from a couple years ago, so I think we're into like 2022 here at this point. I really like how this poster came out. I like making posters for things. I feel like I don't get to do it enough. I do it for myself, but I don't get to do it for other people enough. Always notes. This is how the shape that the strawberry thing ended up being. I still have one of them. They didn't sell very well, which is too bad because I really enjoyed making them. What do you do? Apparently this was 2023 cookie party shenanigans with the kids. Yeah, I guess this was from 2020. This is 2023, not 2022. The other one was 2022. Anyway, whatever. I went to a party at a friend's house, friend of the family, friend's house, and it was very, very, very busy and very, very, very loud and full of people that I have known for a long time, but I don't, okay. I don't have social anxiety, or at least I don't think so until I get to these big parties. This one was a big party full of people that I've known for a very long time, and I should be able to talk to them because I've known them for a very long time, but when it comes to people that I click with, we need to have like something very in common ground to talk about. Like I love to talk about shop. I love to talk about things that I like. And when I don't have that common ground with people and I've known them for a very long time, I just don't know what to say. And then I get all up in my head and then nothing comes out. And then I end up sitting there alone in a room full of people. And my husband has abandoned me. And then I end up hiding in the basement because it's very loud and I don't want to look like an idiot. And it's funny because if it was a party full of people that I didn't know at all, I'd probably be okay. I'm pretty good at small talk with randos. But when I have known the people long enough that I should be able to have a conversation with them, it falls apart. But the children found me. And we had a good time doing blind contours for a little while. And they kept me from having a full-blown panic attack in this hidden room in the basement that I found. They were playing hide and seek, so they were trying to hide from each other, and they ended up finding me instead. And we had a good time. And these are my blind contours, and then B did some, and some of her friends did some. And then we got away from blind contours entirely. I love drawing B's eyebrows and eyelashes. They always end up standing out in my blind contours. The kids I don't know what is going on here. And then they just ran away and left me there. And then we went home and it was better. And this was a holiday pop-up that I did at my friend's shop. Sage and Thistle is just the best shop ever. And so I was drawing some sage and some thistle, but I didn't end up putting it on anything. I did actually do these thistles as ornaments that year, actually. B got some sparkly jellies and needed to play with them. My sketchbook often gets pulled out as a way to like keep children calm in restaurants. So that's why there's so much children's drawings in here. Batman. This is the best thing ever. I'm sorry. What? Look at those eyeballs. Perfect. It's perfect. Here I was planning, this is my dream workstation that I'm trying to convince my husband to make for me. And our name's backwards, apparently. I don't know. The very first drawing of the stumps, I ended up making these candle holder stump things this year. And I think when I drew this idea originally, it didn't have any purpose. Like it was just as a candle holder and to be pretty. And then I ended up making it into sort of more of a mug warmer. I mean, it could have been, but I made it shorter so that the top would get hotter. And then it keeps your mug warm. It doesn't keep your mug warm though. It keeps your mug from cooling quite as quickly as it would without the stump warmer. Right here, I have a list of prompts. I asked Instagram for them, and then Beatrice and I drew them. These are my drawings. She did hers on separate paper, and then we posted them on Instagram. They're pretty funny and weird. This fast slug. Snail, not slug. Bubblegum cat. Weird goblin creatures. This, like, millipede thing. This is kind of fun. I don't usually do this kind of landscapey watercolor thing, but then I ruined it with this weird-ass dog. I don't know what that is. Just pretend that's not there. I don't know. I have no idea. As an accidental wiener over there. This is from Claypril 2024, which was a challenge that I did for myself in April. And this is a plan for an altar. I didn't end up putting these on the inside because it's really hard to paint on that inside curve. And I was cramping my hand just even thinking about it, so I didn't. But it did end up becoming a beautiful altar. This was a design that ended up getting used on a bell, which I still have, actually. This vase was beautiful. I loved it so much. These little bee plates that came out pretty cute. These little dudes got made. More ribbons, as always. I was trying to figure out an icon, and I hated it. Sometimes I try and draw myself and it works out great, and other times I absolutely hate it. So these are for stickers that ended up getting made like a washi tape roll, but it's like stickers instead of tape. I love them. They're pretty. I still want to make this. I bought a bunch of lino block that I'm going to carve and paint it and make these totes, I think. I don't know. If you want blue ribbon pink totes, you can sound off in the comments, I guess. Let me know if I should get my ass in gear. These are from, I made a bunch of charms. They're actually a little smaller than this in real life. I made these charms. I'm rolling away. Hang on. That was how they came out in the end. And I did like custom charms for people's pets. So I did a whole bunch of them. These were just the sample ones that I made up of mine. And it was to help cover some dental bills of Turnips. He decided that he needed all of his teeth out. He didn't like teeth anymore, I guess. And it was very expensive. This was a commission for a friend of a bunny. I don't even know what's going on here. Like, what is this? These are all done by my daughter, by the way. But these are from a long time ago still. This bunny is really cute. I think we must have been in a restaurant because this gray pen is my purse pen. So here's more of those charm cats. I just put tape over the names of the people who ordered them because I had their full names on there and I didn't want anybody to feel weird about their full name being in this video. I don't know. I love these. Were so fun. Cheesy, cutest. Monroe, silliest face. This guy came out really good. Lilu was so pretty with the flowers. Thor had the biggest snaggly face. And Peeps was like a cartoon cat. Like just so pointy, so animated. I love drawing people's pets. I used this for a cup too. I can't do it all the time, but I do love doing it when I have to do it. More thoughts and plans, things that never happened, things that might happen still. I made a giant, not giant, I made a sculpture of a moth about this big, and this was me planning what to paint on the sculpture, which still hasn't really seen the light of day because I haven't quite decided if I like it, and I haven't quite finished it. I got it to that ADHD point where I did about 80% of the whole thing, and then I hit a roadblock, a minor snag that requires using a bit of my brain to get around, and so it's just been sitting on the shelf for days now. Days? Nice try. Months? Almost a year? More than a year? It's been a while. I'll figure it out eventually. They're too good to leave, but we'll figure it out. I think this is product planning. I'm not really sure where I was going with this. This is a washi tape display holder. I don't know if I wanted these as displays for myself or if I wanted to make them for like Polaroids maybe. Did I think I was going to make this candle? Like, where was I going with this? Because a candle bone. And of course, like the minute that you melt off the bone part, it's going to look real rude. I don't know where my mind was. Skull planters maybe? This is definitely product planning. This is display stuff, clearly. And I was like, this is how I can make that so that they aren't hard or stupid. I don't know. More display planning. Sometimes I get really into display planning and then I get too into it. And then I come up with this overly complex, heavy, difficult to move thing. And then I stop planning altogether because I get overwhelmed. I don't have a car, so I often rely on friends to get me places or family or, you know, in a pinch, I have to be able to take an Uber. So I can't be like lugging around these massive heavy displays, and everything has to fit in like a single bag and a couple suitcases. So like that was cute, but impractical. These are the cats, more cats from the charms. Kermit, the cute little face. This one was for Aviva. That's Luna. I really love the way this one came out. And more blind contours with Bee in the park. Mine, Bee's. I just love her eyebrow. It's just so good. These are all Bees. She hasn't quite understood the whole you're not supposed to pick up your pen thing, but we'll get there. So these are more of her. I love how loose these are, and they feel, if you ever need something to draw in your sketchbook, blind contours are where it's at. You kind of need a person to sit for you. I guess you could do it of a thing. Look, eye, mouth. Great little monster there. Oh, here's a non-blind contour drawing of her. There's not many of these because she never sits still enough for them, which is why it's so sketchy to begin with. I probably had to do half of it while she was looking in another direction. These are her drawings. More of her drawings. I think she saw me do this and she got mad and we stopped drawing after that. This is Aura. We were at a restaurant when she did these for sure, because this is the order. I did not write that. Oh, look, there's the bone sticks have come back for plant aeration. I did end up making these. I made this one and this one and this one. This one and this one I will make later. But that's, you know, that's those twisty stalks for you. I know I should move on to other flowers or just like make some up. Like I don't have to be limited by reality, but I just love dandelions so much, like aesthetically. I made a t-shirt for Parkdale Pottery, and this was some of my initial sketches. We wanted to go with that like ghost scene with ghosts and make it really silly. I think it came out pretty silly. I'm happy with it. I have it on a tote bag. Here's some more ideas from the similar, I don't know why there were slugs involved, but there were. I moved this all to a bigger sketchbook in the end because I was feeling hemmed in by this little one. Sometimes I do save the dates for longtime internet acquaintances. I like how these were the initial sketches, and then I went to the computer to finish everything up, but I liked this layout. So we kind of went with this layout and changed some of the graphics and then went in with their colors. I liked the idea of making them cats, though. That could have been really fun. This is the first drawing that I did of my sort of demure lady. You may have seen her on Instagram. She's still on a shelf. I ended up changing her weird little eye stalk, but that's okay. I also am really obsessed with the idea of a guy who has hats on hats on hat. Like the hats just go into more hats. Like where's the end of the hats? And they serve no purpose. That makes me laugh. And this little point was just like, I was going to make his head come to a point so that the hat would sit on it nicely. But also that if you took the hat off, he'd just look like a weird dude with like a teardrop shaped head. I don't know. Then I got obsessed with fish for an afternoon, but I didn't like anything that I drew. Maybe this one's okay. I was drawing with Beatrice. We're in 2024, September now. I love weevils. Why are weevils so cool? Weevils are so cool. And I love how snakes will fold themselves up and look like just a crumpled sheet hanging on a line. Or like squirted out Play-Doh. Just like, anyway. But look at this like fancy weevil dude. He's so dapper. Oh, and here's the stumps. The sort of more refined, where I ended up going with it, sketch. My pencil really needed sharpening. I don't like drawing with non-sharpened pencils, but I think I just didn't have a sharpener nearby. So this is, if we go back, yeah, right to the right page, this guy, who I thought would be just a graphic on a mug, ended up a tea light candle holder that I made, and I'm going to make a bunch more of them because they were really fun to make, and people liked them, and they're all gone now, and I want more. weird lizard. It was about at this point that B got mad at me for being better at drawing weird lizards. And I haven't done observational drawing in ages, so it was not actually very good. But, so I think we quit not long after this. After maybe this sad lizard, those really long guys who only have legs at the ends. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. These were a bunch of flower mutations for a little collection that I made for Petit Magazine this year. And this was me flexing my grade school French. Est-ce que je peux aller à la toilette? I forgot to put s'il vous plaît, but I don't know if that's spelled correctly at all. So if you know French, don't tell me. I don't want to know. More blind contours. Always blind contours. There's B drawing a weird little lobster man. Where's his big claws? Maybe he's a shrimp. I don't know. More mug thoughts. This ended up going on a mug, but it's not finished yet. I love this idea. I don't know where I'm going with it, but I love it. I made all of these. I only have this one left. These two are gone. And some little bats. And some matches. I love little bat. This is some more just doodles and plans. I think I started this at another Christmas party. Or a holiday party or a going away party. I don't remember what it was. But I sat in a corner with my sketchbook. Because I just wasn't in the mood to socialize with people. And honestly, everybody, it was one of those parties where everybody knew each other and I didn't know any of them. And I was like, I don't feel like this. My husband feels alive at parties like that. And I just go curl up in a corner somewhere. I did end up making this mug. It says don't speak on it. It had a glaze flaw on the inside when I needed to have it finished for a Christmas market. So it's still on my shelf. It's fixed now. But it's not finished. It needs gold still. I ended up doing more with these strawberry goth things, goth strawberries. I did a don't panic mug. I made an altar with these matches on it, and I absolutely loved it. One of my favorites. Always more ribbons. These guys are for a friend. They're almost finished. They've just been finished. I finished the underglazing on them, and they need some glaze, and then they need firing, but I need to make some more stuff to go in the kiln with them, or they're going to be all alone in a kiln, and that seems wasteful. I also made this altar, and it came out so good, and I was so happy with it, and it sold pretty quickly. The altars did really well at the Christmas markets this year, so I'll definitely be making more. I really wanted to do a cat one, and I just could not... I don't know, cats and me were not clicking. I could not figure out the bum area. I also wanted to do a spider one, but again, it just wasn't feeling right. More flowers. Oh, see, here's me still working on the cat butt. That one's not even facing the right direction. Like, I don't know. It wasn't working. Maybe we'll get there. I did make this rainbow, and it's the only one I have left. And I know it's simple, but it was a little difficult to paint still. It's just a lot of colors. And I think it's maybe one of my favorite ones because it's so graphic. So maybe I'll keep it for me and, snooze you lose on that. I did also do like a ribbon tape one. That was really fun to paint, but also very time consuming. It ended up looking like this in the middle, and then it had like this all along the arch on the outside. I did make these ornaments as well. I have a bunch of these left over. A bunch? I have one or two, I think. Ghost wood, planning. And then that's it. I did make these dishes with little leaves on them. And then we're at the end. Oh, there's how those sticker tapes came out. And I made a forget-me-not one too. And then I always have an envelope at the back to have like random papers in, like some random loose sketches are in there. This card, I don't know why I have that in there. But yeah, I always have an envelope at the ends of my sketchbooks and notebooks for keeping random bits, because otherwise they'll just fall around. So there's the whole thing. She done. See this thing? I'm done with it. I'll peel it off. Screw it. Thank you for joining me for that. That was long and rambly. You know, go draw in your sketchbook now. All right, I guess I'm back for a little outro. I feel like I probably should have put this in the intro, but my sketchbook is a mess. It's a messy home for sketches and notes and thoughts and phone numbers that I might forget, or orders from the restaurant. I don't subscribe to calling an art book a sketchbook. I don't think that they're the same thing. So mine in particular is definitely a very, very messy place, and it is not for any kind of finished artwork. Sometimes I'll do media explorations in it, but really rarely. I generally will move that to a different place or onto nicer paper, or just not a sketchbook. I absolutely love watching other people's videos of fancy art books and things like that, but that's not mine. So I hope that you weren't disappointed by seeing a bunch of scribble brain barf on a page. But that's what it is. Anyway, I guess I'm just here at this point to say bye, and thank you for coming. And I'm getting anxious hives on my neck recording this. I can't even look at this. Wow. Okay. Apparently just a camera is enough to make me break out in hives. So for my own safety, I'm going to leave now. Thank you for viewing. I hope you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up. It seems like engagement on YouTube is not great. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you liked it. This is my only video so far, but I do have plans and hopes of making more, and maybe if I get a little bit of engagement, I'll feel better about it and I'll be more likely to do it. Or I'll get anxious about it and then I won't do anything at all. I think that's just a dice we're going to have to roll. Hopefully I'll see you soon.